Hey, it's Brian Earth from Apollo Bebop, and you're listening to The Rodriguez Show.
And we back on The Rodriguez Show here on Hits 101 Radio. And we have our special guest, the last one of the episode, Kenan Bell. How's it going, man?
Yeah, doing well, brother. How are you?
Good, man. Where are you coming from today?
Man, I feel like I've been all over, brother.
Yeah.
I live near the beach, in LA, Venice area.
Oh, okay.
So, but I teach like on the east side near Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
All over the place.
But I've been on every freeway in Southern California this evening.
Well, thank you for being here today.
Oh, it's love, man. Happy to be here. Thank you for having
long journey
me.
today.
It's good. It took a long road, but we're here.
Yeah, well, I'm happy you're here. Follow him on Instagram at Kenan's Room, right?
Yes, sir.
On Instagram, we'll post a link to that in the description. Look him up he's on all platforms, so just look him up anywhere. And you're the first guest we've ever had that has a Wikipedia page.
Oh, cool.
So shout out to you. First accolade.
Shout out to the homie Nate for updating the site. Making sure that the wiki stay updated.
4 years in, and you're the first guest with the Wikipedia page. So take us back to the beginning. It said on the Wikipedia page you were active starting 11 years ago. Is that when you started making music?
Yeah, actually, no, I probably began making music around 2001. Actually, like making beats. We have Fruity Loops 3 demo version on like an old desktop. So I was making beats there and having to like, I never bought the program, so I was having to like bounce down a live file, bounce it down to tape, like an actual cassette tape. Wow. At the local college or whatever, kind of get in some sneak in, get some time. But so 2001 started making beats, was kind of trying to shop beats, like production, trying to get like beats placed, shopping beats to, people that probably had no business even hearing my music at that level, like Janet Jackson. And, because we just had certain, we were able to get the music in some people's hands, but it wasn't ready. So it's been a long journey. But I started producing first and then probably pursued the actual MCing like more seriously in like 08. Okay. So there was some time in between there, but definitely studied the craft. And
was there anybody you were like trying to emulate back then, or inspirations?
In 01, I mean, my dude, I worked with a production, like my partner in production, and we were trying to incorporate a lot of chord progressions and like, live instrumentation and as much of, real musicality as we could into the hip hop beat. So like the Neptunes were obviously someone we looked up to, Timbaland and stuff. And actually, I think Timbaland stole one of my beats.
Really?
Yeah, for a Lloyd Banks track. Yeah, because I'd handed him a disc at the Jimmy Kimmel, and that track actually, the I'm So Fly, Lloyd Banks. Yeah, I got a track that predates that song with the same instrument, like everything, even like the percussion tracks are the same. But
did you ever pursue that any further?
I got some people that are lawyers or whatnot, but they told me like since it was kind of after the fact, like we probably didn't have a case, and I'm sure that happens all the time, and Timbo might just strong arm his way through that. But it's sad because I respected the dude and obviously still look up to him greatly, in production, and it could have just thrown me a bone or something like this. But
it sucks because it's like it's more common than we even see it, right?
Yeah, because maybe people even get chipped out a little bit, just enough to keep some hush money, and then they don't even. But we didn't get anything, and but definitely from the production standpoint, looking up to them as well as the Greats, Babyface, and Quincy, and like I like of all the producers, Just
did you watch that Quincy Jones documentary?
I saw that.
Were you surprised at how much he'd done? Because I knew he'd done a lot, but when I saw that, I was like, holy shit.
Dude is kind of like the most accomplished producer ever. I mean, I guess that goes without saying, right? But like the variety of music that he was involved in, even as a musician himself, playing jazz music, and but the story was super insightful, and there was a lot about his story like that I had no knowledge of. Yeah, but it was pretty cool to see.
Wow, man. Yeah. So where do you pull your inspiration from to write music now?
Oh, okay. Well, and also inspiration from like actual MCs that I look up to, like Hieroglyphics and Living Legends, and as well as like your Nas and Big L's, and but so from the music that I listen to, like I'm definitely inspired by lyricists, and they help to shape my worldview. I think similar like skateboarding, like just being on a skateboard and looking at a terrain that may not appear to be something that you could even do trick, like it's just a staircase or something, but looking at things differently. I feel like those MCs kind of helped open things up for me in a different way. And, some of these producers also, showing different styles of sampling, so open me up to music and languages that I'm not even familiar with. So that kind of stuff inspires me. And like, also some of my, like the students that I'm working with, there's a lot of, I guess, inspiration from the imagination and being around all the information, you know, that we have to discuss in like a classroom setting. So, but really, man, just life, dude. Like that butterfly migration that happened a couple weeks ago was inspiring, you know, like the poppies blooming, like, you know, like everything really, like truly.
I think that's what it, to be an effective songwriter or something like that, you have to be looking at things differently. Like you mentioned the skateboarding. I never even thought of that. You have to think creatively by looking at just a place and just think of like, how can I do something here? Yeah,
it really is. And I feel like it definitely was, you know, as instrumental to me as hip hop was, you know, like skate videos, and even just the collage format of that kind of presentation had me, you know, it opened like just a different aesthetic. Like I definitely feel like it was a huge inspiration, like just for everything, you know, stylistically, like even the music that I'm exposed to, like my friend circles or whatever. So like it was that played a huge role. And being from Southern California, I think probably might be the biggest inspiration, just because it's all encompassing. You know, the traffic is even inspiring in some ways. Exactly. You know, like
you're sitting there in traffic writing a song
all the time, man, and you know, you're seeing people just wonder where they're coming from, where they're going. You know, what struggles are they having to like deal with in route to wherever it is where that might be the source of the struggle, even, you know. So like it's just a lot of time in traffic, a lot of instrumentals.
Something funny actually happened to me today, inspired by traffic. I was driving in front of somebody, and then we split lanes. We went opposite ways, and the person like honked and like put their middle finger up at me, and I was like, how? Like, what? And then I thought about that person. Like, what was going on in that person's life that they were so pissed at something I didn't even know I was doing?
And you know, it wasn't you. You know, it's just like they're emotionally charged up and stuff. Like, it's real sad. Like, I had a situation the other day, and a few months back or whatever, I was, as I'd be like in the thrifts or whatever, like pulling out stuff. You always talking about that Dior belt. You know, I was trying to see what y'all was discussing. But I was pulling. So I'd be in different parts of the city. So I was somewhere, but I was still in Southern Cali, and like somebody was angry, agitated about the car in front of them making a U-turn. It was a legal U-turn, and the dude, like, you know, it happened to be a car like a black woman, you know, like a out-of-state place, and like he had his window rolled down, and he just screams out the window like, "Fucking niggers!"
Oh my god!
Yeah, and he was looking right in my eyes, you know, and I'm like, just because I happened to be the next car, and I'm just thinking, like, in that moment, like, what could it be really that pushes you to that? Like, these were just women driving out-of-state plate, like they probably lost, like we were in the middle of some. It wasn't like LA proper, you know, like some. But yeah, it's really unfortunate. Like people can't just chill out a little bit, you know, in all regards.
Jesus. Yeah. You mentioned you were a teacher. What do you teach?
Yeah, I teach 4 through 6 social studies, science, and geography.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I teach like upper elementary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do the kids surprise you with what they know and like? You know,
it's a trip. I mean, I feel like we underestimate the like intelligence of a small person. Yeah, you know, like it's unfortunate, but they definitely have a different perspective just in their height and, you know, I guess their lack of information. So the way that they might try to rationalize things, you know, might be so off because they don't have the facts, but it still opens it up like, well, it could be that way, you know, like because you're piecing it together with some reason, you know. But for sure. I mean, they're like so inquisitive, and it's a lot of time spent having to answer questions that you couldn't even write or like try to imagine, you know. I'm trying to even think of one, but like a student asked me like if there was water in between the continents, and it wasn't meaning like on the surface, like oceans, like in the internal, like groundwater, basically, like aquifer, like inside the actual earth, you know. Like I don't even know where the question came from. It's just like random. So they're like tuned into a different frequency. So it's always interesting, always different.
And you're like, wow, I never even thought about it that way.
I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, like what you're supposed to be focused on a totally different lesson. So I don't even know if I want to answer that now. But no, it's cool. I definitely am thankful for the platform. Yeah.
And when you sit down and you're gonna make a beat, write a song. How does that work in your mind?
Man, a lot of the tracks that I made for like the last EPs or whatever, you know, I had like maybe 1,000 beats. I had just kind of, like I said, in the 01 or whatever, Fruity Loops, and then through the Pro Tools era, and then like getting the MPC, and then I played a lot with the band too, so then we were recording a lot of like live instruments, and then now coming back to like a software-based DAW with Native Instruments Machine, so I had to really just reprogram myself in beat making. So I would just spend a lot of time making as many beats as I could in a short amount of time. Spend 5 minutes, drum out a drum track, little melody or whatever, but like, you know, it really just like, it might just be a groove like I'm tapping on the table, and I might just try to like keep that going and plug in melody sound, a melodic sound or a different tone or a drum sound, and kind of just build it from there. But normally start with beat though. Start with the drum, and then fill the melody out, like find the cadence or find a rhythm within that beat, and just lay like some chords or just some random sounds, like sample a vocal or something. But typically beginning with drums, percussion.
Do you like when you're making a beat, and then do you have people in your area that also make music where you're like, I gotta send it to this guy to like put a verse on it or something?
Yeah, I definitely like, and different walks of life too, like artists that may not be musical artists that might be writers or something, and just want them to kind of dissect the lyrics, or but definitely like send them off to vocalists and have them kind of do like a reference track maybe for what the hook might sound like with them. But yeah, I'm thankful to have like kind of a wide ranging pool of friends, and they're all, a lot of them are creative, so in different capacities. So yeah, I try to utilize them in any way I can.
Yeah. Is there like, in your perspective, how is that scene, that like, LA music scene? Like
the scene is thriving, man. The scene is probably as live as it's been, and given that it is such a major city or whatever, like, and has such a rich culture, it's cool that there is that represented, like the diversity of it represented in the different artists that come from the city,
the art they're making.
Yeah, it feels very authentic, like, because like the expanse of the city, it's maybe 50-60 miles or something radius, so there should be many different walks of life or lifestyles being portrayed in the music, and I think there are right now. Yeah, I feel like in the past or in certain times in music in the industry, there's only one thing that's succeeding, so everybody's doing that. But right now, I think people are really embracing their uniqueness and like the diversity in that, and your story being different than anyone else's, and that's what gives its value, as opposed to just being what's working.
Yeah, I think it comes with the ability to put something up online so easily.
Right.
Where it's like, it doesn't matter. You didn't get to that point to copy somebody else, or I just made this in my room and I'm gonna put it up right now.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful outlet. I think there's this double-edged sword, because there is that oversaturation at times, because anybody at any moment can become an artist, and they're entitled to the same avenues as anyone else that might have been working on music for 20 years.
Exactly.
But you really can't. That's just the technology that we have at our disposal nowadays, and you really just got to embrace it and kind of like see how Lil Nas X puts that, gets that song in the TikTok rotate, using the different platforms that are available to you today to kind of get your art where you're trying to get it. So yeah, it's inspiring, but there is a lot to sift through, I think, as well. Yeah.
There's so many things on SoundCloud and stuff like that.
Like, you only have 2 ears, like how much music could you really listen to? Like, so much time in the day, so. Yeah. But there's a lot of cool art. People being daring, I guess, or doing what they feel.
So how did you start working with Mellow Thing? How did that connection come through?
He's always kind of been like in the circle of friends, like the musical circle, because there was a label that ended up putting out my record that also put out some of the Pocket Rockets material. So I was playing shows with Pocket Rockets and the late aughts or whatever, like when they were kind of getting off the ground. And so we've always been connected musically in that way, and just I've always sent stuff, back and forth tracks and whatnot, but I never really like linked on an official project. So when this opportunity came and he hit me like, dude, let me like work at something. Send me some stems of one of the new stuff. And so I sent him the track, and he laced me. So it was like long overdue, I think.
Yeah. He was actually the one that reached out and recommended you for the show.
Oh,
so shout out to him.
Yeah, 100% shout out Mellow Thing and Pocket Rockets as well. So yeah, I know those are my dudes forever. Yeah, for sure.
So you've opened for a lot of guys, like De La Soul. You work with them.
Yeah.
What's it like working with these people? Because I'm sure you've admired them.
Of course, yeah. I mean, even as we're talking about influence, I'm thinking it's a pleasure and an honor to even share stages with some, play shows with Run DMC and Tribe Called Quest and stuff through the De La affiliation, and or even playing shows with Kool Keith and stuff. Artists that kind of helped encourage me to even think differently or be whatever I felt I was that I was naturally or whatever, and then on top of that pursue music. So yeah, it's a huge honor, and like watching like the way like especially De La works, and you know the business savvy that they have after all these years, and the brotherhood essentially. I think like those were probably the two most powerful things that I could take from that experience. Obviously playing the shows was amazing and being well received by an audience that is, you know, as well versed in hip hop as any could be, you know. So it was a real humbling experience for me, because I knew that if I wasn't coming correct, that everyone would know.
And they would let
me know. Yeah. Exactly. And a lot of times, you know, folks would be in the crowd kind of like, this dude with like some colorful style, whatever, LA. Like, you know, we expect it to be this, and then they would be, you know, pleasantly surprised. So it was cool. It definitely was. But yeah, just seeing how they move and learning just as a young artist how you can attain longevity, and there's just certain steps you got to take in order to do so. So. Yeah.
So now that you've been making music for a while, like what's the next step? Where do you see yourself going?
That's a good question, man. Like I'm really, you know, I've done some different projects in the past few years. Taken some time off for doing music full time, you know, pursuing like just that as my sole creative outlet. You know, did some design stuff with Vans for a little while, and that was cool. I would love to do some more visual art, whether fashion or footwear or actual painting, or you know, design some pottery or stuff. Like there's a lot of ways that I feel like I would be stimulated artistically and also be fulfilled, I guess. But music is something I always do. So if I could do some scoring, like continue to like do, I've done a little bit of work in that department too. So I really would like to like drop some instrumental tapes, work with other artists, like develop other artists, and maybe just grow a brand that's, you know, even stepping outside of just music, you know, like a creative firm or something, like doing visuals for people. Now that I've done some of that, you know, so more of those kind of the other facets of music that aren't just the musical part of the music business, but some other design stuff probably.
I mean, it's good to talk to somebody that kind of has an idea of where they're going. You know, it's somebody kind of established. You've established yourself, and now it's just growing the base that you've already created all these years. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's pretty inspirational to have somebody so like sure about their place, and that, like, you know what I'm saying, like you're only moving up.
Yeah, and I mean, there's moments where like you doubt like what it is that you know, as an artist, like you question. You try not to too much. You know, you want to really rely on instinct, but there's a lot of times where, you know, because of certain trends, you may not be certain if what you're doing is even going to find its way in that current, or, you know, if you got to kind of play their game in order to be in those discussions. But it just makes you even more creative about how you present your creativity, your art, you know. And so but even as confident as it may seem, you know, there's all kind of moments, you know, every day where, you know, you're doubting what it is that you're doing, and questioning if it will be received as you intended. But I guess that's just kind of like the anxiety that comes with being an artist. You know?
Yeah, you gotta have that little bit of self-doubt, so you push it a little bit further.
Yeah, it's been really healthy. Like I felt like there was a little bit of, I don't want to say complacency, but I was definitely getting a little comfortable, like having, you know, we were succeeding so quickly. I feel like I was able to really get in a position in a short time where many artists would have taken 3-4 times the amount of time to get. And it was honestly as a result of the technology and the advancements in, you know, digital distribution and basically MySpace music. So it's kind of a good and bad thing, because I benefited from it, but I also see that, you know, there is too many artists or people that feel like maybe what they have to, and I don't know. I mean, you don't have to necessarily be like a super dope rapper to make a song and to share it. Like, just maybe don't be pitching it to the blogs that I'm pitching to, or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like,
there's still a line that you have to cross. There's still a lane that you have to stay in when you're starting out.
And I think people should just develop. I feel like a lot of times you get is instant gratification. Like, you can, even for myself, I felt, you know, we attained so much that it almost felt like, man, like, let me not be going through the motions. Let me really live to get some inspiration, to be, you know, putting together thoughtful material, and not just because, you know, the demand is there, and like you just release something on Friday and Monday, there, you know, people, where's the next project? You know, like, what's coming? And like to fulfill those needs, you might not be creatively fulfilling your own desire to like try new things or push new boundaries. But that's kind of like the music business in itself too. So, yeah.
Well, we're excited to have you here. Thank you for being here, man. and we're gonna have you're gonna perform in a right now in a couple seconds. But before we do that, I just want to give the plugs again real quick.
Yes, sir.
At Kenan's Room on Instagram, and we have this segment called 60 Seconds with. We're gonna challenge you to answer these as fast. Just first thing that comes to mind. So favorite blank.
Okay.
And let me get the timer ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Go. Okay. Favorite comic book character.
Comic book character, dude. I guess Black Panther.
Yeah. Favorite song right now.
Song right now. I like some of the baby stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But do you have a hidden talent?
A hidden talent. I was just thinking when I saw Giannis, the alphabet juggling a soccer ball. I'm like, I'm kind of nice with the footwork too.
Oh, okay.
So I played 1 year AYSO, so I don't think folks know.
What was first CD you ever bought?
First CD
or album?
Can it be a record? I'm looking at the records on the wall. I'm thinking I go back. I think Wild Wild West, Kumo D.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then first song, if you ever illegally downloaded.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I came through in the millennium, so for sure I illegally downloaded on all. Cause first song, it probably would have been an instrumental, maybe like 07 or like Anicon, probably some atmosphere. Yeah.
Favorite non-hip hop genre.
Favorite non-hip hop genre, jazz.
There you go. And that was 60, we're a little late, but that was 60 seconds with Kenan Bell. And it's time for you to perform, man. We've been talking about it, and we want to hear it. So you go ahead and get set up. And I'm going to give the plugs out real quick as he's setting up. Like I said, follow him on Instagram at Kenan's Room, and I will spell that out. KENANSROOM. And look for his stuff on all the streaming platforms. Kenan Bell, look him up. We'll post a link to that in the description of the episode. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Kenan Bell on The Rodriguez Show.
The word is... Say hi. 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 Say hi. 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 Hi.
Nice to meet you. Will you say your name was again? Hi. It was really nice to meet you. Will you say your name was again? Hi. It was really nice to meet you. Will you say your name was again? The pleasure was all mine. Goodbye.
Yeah. KenanBell.com. Yeah. Rodriguez Show. Yo, woke up and it was overcast. Woke up to a bunch of texts, but alas, they were just from overpass. Got up to mow the grass, clean up, throw out the trash, but it was raining, splish splash. I'd like to splash in the puddle. No ski mask, no duffel, make it fast on the double. Today's a perfect day for making music, but you just keep telling me how much you just wanna cuddle. Two different people, blessed two different steeples. Plessy versus Ferguson, separate but equal. She good people, share it with the youth. This the naked truth, please bear with me. I guess it's just not meant to be. You are just not meant for me. But you were for a few years, and I yearn just to be in the same proximity as you. My one true love, half of me is missing. M, no E, partially because I got no M-O-N-E. Why is this always has gotta be? Gave you a lot of me, gave a lot of me. Also gave you a lot of pain, gave a lot of grief. Sour at first, but then it gets sweet. Got Caught in the middle, I turn the other cheek. Learn from others' weaknesses. Headstrong, I don't know what weakness is. Peekaboo, I'm weak for you. You're my weakness. Waited a whole week for you. Didn't speak to you. Speaking of you, baby, what are we gonna do? Ooh, gonna take a break to make some music. Just another way for me to say what's on my mind. And I'm fine with you keeping on telling me that you're fine. Cause you're fine, and I'm fine, and we're fine. She wrote the book, she loved to read. He liked to cook. She liked to eat. She liked the hook. She liked the beat. We are a match made in heaven. 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 Hi. It was really nice to meet you. Hi. It was really nice to meet. Hi. It was really nice to meet you. Will you say your name was again? The pleasure was all mine. Never look down. Yeah, Mellow Thing remix. Old MacDonald had a font, E-I-E-I-O. To the foreclosure, didn't know how much he owe. Will go to great lengths, he grow, he sow, he hoe. Would've sold you his kidney if it was compatible. Chicken were free range for all we know. But he never left the farm, it was as far as he'd go. Never exercised, never did cardio. Now he died, made it harder, put him 6 feet below. White owl swooped down, night hunter on the prowl. A tiger ran away when it heard my stomach growl. Won't eat at McDonald's, but might eat at McDowell's, y'all. Rap sound like vowel movements of consonants and vowels. You might wanna get that checked out. Ran a background check on your man, some things didn't check out. Maybe he slipped his mind or he intentionally left out. Got a hung jury, 6 had reasonable doubt. All 6 senses heightened, no need to sniff it out. Can't listen when the critics say throw in the towel, cause they never did it, so they don't know how it feels to be killing it. And the crowd goes, have you howling at the top of your lung when I'm done with ya? Lift your spirit, then send for a lifter. Come and get ya. To be fair, the fair split cut surcharges will get ya. Bet ya by golly, why I go half on a baby with you? Take a second and reflect on this time that we lit, on this life that we in, the time that we with the option to buy. I bow out every now and then, every now and again. Everybody be like nah 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 nah. Take a minute and listen to the ancient rhythm. These new age old scriptures are chock full of wisdoms. A wise man once said, gentlemen, please start your engines. But these boys up bad as the Detroit Pistons. Nah, I'm kidding, but baby, really? Isn't that some picture? We still get surprised when a professional athlete hits ya.
Fix your face, they say, but can't manage their anger. Fix up, look sharp, looks fixed, but there is the danger. Now you're down in the dumps, cause you're taking a couple lump more beat up than your cross trainer. Need new Reebok pump. You need 2 lumps of sugar in your cup of coffee. Don't even put honey in my cup of tea. Everybody's different. RC and Kiwi race for the darkest pigment. Winner is the Aborigine. It makes no difference. In South Africa, SPF 75. Too much of anything is bad for ya. I was stranded on an uncharted desert isle. Marion and I double date with Mr. and Mrs. Howe. If I got lost in the grocery store in the desert aisle, probably resort to boosting the fourth thirsting high. Good Lord, please help me resist the devil's pie. Think I parked my car on level 4, maybe it was level 5. They look at my blackness, then give me evil eye. Hate see it in their eye, hope one day you can see the light. Let me holler at ya, let me borrow a dollar, get you back tomorrow. Today was feeling great, yesterday tough act to follow. While the Sandman tucking God that showtime at the Apollo. Creative in training, woo! Apollo Creek, sorry, I'm not sorry. Please remove your sorry. Imagine going on safari and the tour guide lose the car key. Now a baby, rhinoceros without a car seat. Hyena laugh hysterically, seem black as a 5 heartbeat. Heartbeat on a negative, never did anyone any good. Yes, it is a tough time, but we survive. Many moons, must I remind you to keep it to a bare minimum. Except when it comes to my hair, wouldn't dare to, who care, anywho. Could I bring a child into this world? Little boy, a little girl, be black just like me and act just like me and get harassed just like me and ask for ID part in my own driveway. Cop was Asian, by the way, made me feel some kind of way. I find a way to not have hate in my heart because I might die today, so let me not start wasting all my energy. But if I may interject one observation I may make, I see where you're coming from, same place as me, where I'm from. A man is judged by who and what, not what he's done. It's how much, but how come? Look at what I've done, while all you've done is take up space, waste the space, wait for some, take your place, take the shape of its container. Same old different day, wish we could just look at it in a different way, different angle, a picture in a different frame, a new frame of mind, a brand new slang that you just can't wait to say. Brand new restaurant, can't wait to try. Take my leftovers knowing I am gonna throw them away. Looking down on the wasteful, but look at your plate full of animal. Just different taste, we're all animal, I'm a different beast. Yeah. Never look down, never look down. Once I looked down, but now things are looking up. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to the Rodriguez Show, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Hey, Kenan Bell.
Yeah.
On the Rodriguez Show.
Yeah.
That was tight, man. Follow him on Instagram at Kenan's Room.
Bless.
Thank you, man. Come back anytime. That was tight, bro.
Oh, I love, man. No, I'll be back.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to watch the video. I was kind of like, I saw you moving around. I was like, damn, I got to see what's going on over there.
Yeah, I was trying to make it look like I was doing a lot. Nah, I was doing a lot. I'm just joking, but you know how they be up there kind of perpetrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll come back, bring like some instrumentals or something. You know, we could do it without any songs and just go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're follow him on Instagram, like I said, but you also got to check out the video on the YouTube page because you got to see this too. I can't wait to see the video as well.
Yeah, man. No, it's cool. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, man.
Really cool.
Yeah,
appreciate the look.
Of course. And that's it for the Rodriguez Show. Thank you for listening.